Santa's watching, Santa's creeping. Now you're nodding, now you're sleeping. Were you good for Mom and Dad? Santa knows if you've been bad.
Hey there guys, this is Sam
and Justin
at the Survival Review, and it is Christmas time.
Oh yeah.
It's a magical time of the year where we get to talk about murder and death.
Yes.
In two classic Christmas films, yes. Silent Night, Deadly Night, parts 1 and 2 we will talk about next time. But this time, Silent Night, Deadly Night. What a movie.
Oh yeah.
This is not your typical Christmas movie.
No.
Which you can kind of tell from all the controversy that originally happened when this movie came out. A lot of parents were not happy.
No. This movie did not play in theaters for long because parents got it pulled. Oh, they got a problem with Santa murdering people. I don't know why.
Look, you know, he's not actually Santa.
No.
It's just the message of the film is clear that Santa's not real and life is worthless.
Basically. Because this is one of the most mean-spirited movies out there.
Yeah.
This movie is one of the best 80s slasher movies.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty entertaining slasher film.
Now, of course, a great 80s slasher movie doesn't mean it's a great movie.
No, you have to take it in the context of it's a slasher movie.
Yes.
Watch it with a grain of salt. Just have some fun with it. It's, riddled with however many flaws you can spot, but it's fun.
It's so entertaining.
It's really silly, very over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Really ridiculous, very funny.
Yeah.
And just a great little gimmicky horror film.
It's funny, except for the first half hour.
Yeah. First half hour is, just depressing.
The movie begins with this family on the road. There's this husband and wife and their infant son and their little, 5-year-old son named Billy. Mm-hmm. And they're on the way to see their grandpa, who is this catatonic old man at this mental hospital.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, dead in the eyes.
Yeah.
And the parents, they come in. They drove, clearly a very long way just to see him for, a half hour. Not
even. They say, hi to him a little bit. He doesn't say anything, so they leave and go talk to the doctor.
Yeah, and they leave little Billy to sit with Grandpa, just expecting nothing to happen. And, of course, the Grandpa goes You like Santa Claus? Because Santa Claus is going to punish you.
Santa Claus only brings presents to them that's been good all year.
It's so random. I mean, of course, story-wise, it's to make Billy kind of weary about Santa.
All the naughty ones, he punishes.
But in general, it's a random scene where this old man just starts telling him about how, Santa punishes all the kids who have been naughty.
And really, we can totally live without this scene.
Yeah.
Getting all that from the next thing that happens with him, as well as his experience with other people later on. We'll get to that.
Yeah, because after that scene, we cut to this guy dressed as Santa walking into a little convenience store. And, of course, he holds up the store and is brutally murdering the storekeeper.
For about $32.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And he drives off. And we cut back to the family, who's just, on their way driving. And they come across that Santa, whose car is broken down.
Pulled over on the side of the road. He's just waving. How could you not trust a man in a Santa suit?
Yeah.
They stop the car. They're like, "Hey, Santa, what's the matter?" And he just pulls a gun on him.
Yes.
And he shoots
the dad. And of course, since it's an 80s movie, he rapes the wife or the mother.
These are the things in the 80s slasher flicks that I'm not too fond of.
No.
But once you get past that, you get to the fun bits of the movie.
Well, not quite, then we cut to a few years later, and Billy and his brother Ricky are in an orphanage, and the place is run by these nuns, of course, and the main one is Mother Superior, who is just a terrible human being.
Yeah, she's just a bitch.
Basically, yeah.
And she has her own way of doing things, which usually involves beating someone.
Yeah.
And punishing, and that's very important. That word is very important here.
And then we are punished. Punishment is absolute. Punishment is necessary.
Because punishing is what everybody gets in this film.
Yeah, and just constantly thinking that her methods will make Billy a better person. If we force Christmas on him, he'll be totally okay.
Yes, this child who went through a very traumatic event on Christmas Eve involving a man in a Santa suit. Oh, just Make him sit on the Santa Claus, it'll be all good.
Yeah.
Hit him with the belt, everything's fine. Well, that's not exactly how it plays out.
No. So that's like kind of like the middle act of the movie. It's kind of the first like half hour of this movie actually. Like there's no real slasher elements to the movie until a good way into the film. Because the first half is about Billy just constantly getting in trouble half the time for stuff that's not even his fault.
Yeah.
Like he just walks in on a couple having sex and of course he gets beaten for it.
Yeah. I mean, he stood there for a little while.
Yeah, true, but still, like something he just happened to come across.
Yes.
And so the first half of this movie is just so mean-spirited.
It's just a mean,
Yeah.
cynical film.
Basically. But then we cut to 10 years later,
Yes.
and Billy is an adult. He's 18. Clearly looks like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, totally.
And he gets a job at this toy store around the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get introduced to one of the best scenes in the entire movie, a montage.
Yeah. This is classic 80s shit.
I'm looking for the warm side of the door where the fire's bright and it's burning.
My favorite image in possibly the entire movie is during this montage. He goes up to some coloring books, moves them around a little bit,
Yeah.
doesn't even fix anything really, and the manager of the store looks by and he just gives this approving look like, that's my Billy.
Yeah.
Everybody will be there.
And it's so
And it's just like,
stupid.
you know, it's like him like picking up a little girl to have her get something at the top shelf, and the girl hugs him. Or like the coworker is putting booze in his drink, and he offers some to Billy. Billy's
and
like,
he's just like, no thank you, just milk for me. It's so great.
There's like uplifting Christmas music is playing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I love the toy store because there's so much like merchandise in there. Like there's
Yeah.
Star Wars toys. There's a close up where you clearly see a Jabba the Hutt toy set.
Yeah.
There's like G.I. Joe stuff. There's a Kermit the Frog toy at one point.
Yeah. Bunch of pop culture stuff.
Yeah. It's great. And of course, around Christmas time, Billy starts acting a little weird, a little, you know...
He's on edge.
Yeah, basically. And on Christmas Eve, the guy they hired to play Santa broke his leg, so he can't make it.
Yes.
So they just get Billy to do it.
Yeah, why not have Billy do it? This will be a great idea.
Yes.
I mean, he probably should have protested a lot more,
Yeah.
and maybe all this wouldn't have happened, but it happens.
So you
and
see him on Christmas Eve playing Santa.
one of the best scenes where the little girl sits on his lap and she's like wiggling around. She doesn't want to be on his lap, and he's like, "Why are you doing this? Do you have any idea what you're doing? You're being naughty."
I don't bring toys to naughty children. I punish them severely.
It's just so dark.
And then it just cuts to the parents who are like, oh, he's so good with kids.
He's so good with the kids.
He sure knows how to handle kids. He's great, isn't he?
And then, you know, the customers leave, and, you know, they start to party because they're like, oh, everybody's gone. We're done with this Christmas shit.
Everybody's gone. Let's have some drinks.
7 o'clock. It's over. Time to get shit-faced.
And, of course, Billy's just there in the Santa suits. Never takes it off.
No.
And there's this girl he's interested in, this
Yes.
co-worker. And she starts making out with his other co-worker, Joe Pesci.
Yeah, the cheap-looking Joe Pesci.
And they start making out. They go into the employees-only room. And, of course, it's 80s, so
Yes.
things start going a little too far, but she's not happy with the way it's going.
Yeah. And lo and behold, you got your hero Santa comes in.
Yeah, because he sees that, has flashbacks to his mom, and so he takes matters into his own hands. And he murders Joe Pesci. And then, you know, of course, the one girl's like, you're crazy. So that just sets him off. And now he is off on a killing spree for the rest of the movie.
And it's a wonderful killing spree.
Oh, yes.
Because he kills everyone in the toy store, but he also just goes into people's homes.
Yeah. A random teenage girl and her boyfriend. And of course, the girl's played by Linnea Quigley, because
Yeah.
it's an 80s horror movie. And of course, he ends up killing them because they were naughty. So,
Yes, he had to punish them.
Yes.
That's another thing. Every time he's murdering someone, like most of the kills,
Yeah.
he's going, punish!
Yeah, punish.
And it's comical.
It
It's
is.
really ridiculous, but I love it.
It's great.
Punish! 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 Punish!
The effects in this movie are all really good.
Yes.
Really good 80s effects.
Yeah, lots of great kills. Lots of just strange moments.
Yeah.
Like with the bullies.
Oh my god, the bully scene.
The bully scene with the kids on the sleds.
Oh my god, this scene, you have to like break this scene down. Like shot for shot. So it starts out with these two kids going over, like they're approaching this hill and they have sleds. And they're going to go sledding because I guess that's what kids want to do on Christmas Eve nights. Whatever. And then these bullies show up.
Yes.
These bullies who are clearly not teenage and they're adults.
Like in their mid-20s
Yes.
at the least.
And the dialogue is amazing.
The dialogue's absurd.
So first off, the one friend has a bunch of one-liners that are just terrible.
Look at this hill. Virgin, man. The only kind you'll ever get.
And then when the bullies come in, the one kid insults the bully, and the bully puts him in a headlock and says, "Take it back."
Gonna take that back, fuckface. Drop dead. I said take it back. All right, I'm sorry.
The bullies end up punching the kids and taking their sleds.
Yeah, the kids run off, and they're like, "Ha, got him," and they go sledding.
They go sledding.
So one of them goes down the hill. The other one's like, "Ha! Woo!" Like that noise exactly. His friend going down on us. It's the stupidest thing ever.
It's just a little hill. It's not even that big of a hill. Like,
No.
and these adult teenage boys at night on Christmas Eve are really enjoying themselves.
Yes. But when the second one starts going down the hill, that's when he gets punished.
Yes.
And he gets completely decapitated by good old Billy in the Santa suit.
It's great.
It's a wonderful scene. It has my favorite line in the movie. Ha! Woo!
There's a lot of like good characters in this movie. I'm not saying like really well acted or really, you know, like deep or developed characters. I mean like just entertaining characters. Like I love the shopkeeper that runs the toy store. Especially at the end when he's all drunk and he's like talking to Billy. He's talking about like his parents. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, my parents are dead." And he's like, oh, that's right, because you're from the orphanage. It's just like, hey Santa, can't be drinking too much, you know what you gotta do tonight.
Yeah, you know what you gotta do now. Well, what do you think Santa does on Christmas Eve? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
It's
so good.
It's wonderful. And then you have the nun, Sister Loomis.
Sister Loomis. Literally just Donald Pleasance in a nun costume.
Basically, because she was the good nun who was always nice to Billy while Mother Superior was being all cool and everything. And so she figures out, well, first she calls up to see how everything's going with Billy at the store, and the guy's just like, "Oh yeah, he's playing Santa."
He's playing Santa Claus for a bunch of snot-nosed kids.
The only thing that was missing was a Loomis like style speech.
Yes.
Just like I met him when he was 6 years old.
Pure evil.
That's the only thing that was missing. So you have like, you know, so Sister Loomis, like she's a fun character. Even like Mother Superior, who's a terrible character, and it's like, I mean, even though she's not the one going around murdering people, she feels like the true villain of the movie.
Yeah.
She's really well acted.
You will learn gratitude. Say thank you to Santa Claus.
That actress is great at just playing this like awful person.
Yes.
Who even like has weird moments of like nice when she's being nice to like the kids later on. Mm-hmm. And then you're just like, no, you're being deceiving. We know you're a horrible human being.
We know you're a conniving bitch. You can't do this.
Exactly. It's just so great.
There's just a lot of great moments in the movie. A lot of really memorable kills, a lot of memorable lines. Mm-hmm. It's a fun movie to watch around this time of year.
Yeah, and even though it is a very, you know, cliched slash movie, it has, you know, of course, people having sex, gratuitous nudity, gratuitous violence.
Just about all the staples of an 80s slasher flick.
Yeah, it still doesn't like quite like work in like story structure of normal slasher movies.
Yeah.
Story-wise, it's a little bit different. Things like don't play out exactly like friendly like coworker character. You think she'd be like the Laurie Strode of the movie, the like final girl, and she's not.
Yeah, there's really not a final girl in this movie.
No, I mean unless you count Sister Loomis, but like
or the nun, like Mother Superior.
Yeah, or Mother Superior.
Yeah.
But there's no real final girl in the movie, so it is a little bit different. And of course, like how we're saying that the first half of the movie wasn't even really a slasher movie. It was like a screwed up drama about this kid stuck in an orphanage.
Yeah.
So it's not completely like what you'd expect, but it still has all those staples and tropes. That just makes it wonderful.
You gotta watch it with a group. Like watch it with some friends.
Oh yeah.
And it's a great time.
Yeah, and also by the plot, like not being the smartest, there were so many scenes where you were just predicting the lines exactly.
I would literally say the lines that they were about to say as they were speaking them. It's predictable, but God, it's so fun.
It's so well made in like that style of like an 80s movie that you can't help but like it. I mean, if you don't like this kind of movie, you're not going to like this movie at all.
But if you do like slasher flicks, this one is very charming.
And what also works is that this is a great movie to watch around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Even though it is completely mean-spirited, it works because this movie doesn't just use the Christmas time as just like a setting. Yeah. It relishes in Christmas.
Yes.
Every scene is like reminding you of Christmas, even if it's like the scene where Linnea Quigley's boyfriend is just in the basement playing pool waiting for her while she's getting murdered. There's like a song playing on the radio that turns out to be a Christmas song. So like every scene just reminds you of Christmas. Like there's a lot of stuff in the toy store with like Christmas imagery, with like the nutcrackers and stuff like that. It works very well to watch around Christmas time.
Absolutely.
It's not really a Christmas themed movie.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get any real good themes out of this movie, but
for sure.
Just don't be naughty. Actually,
yeah.
Actually, show this movie to your kids. Like, don't be naughty.
Show the movie to your kids; they'll straighten up.
Exactly. So this is a great Christmas time horror movie.
Yeah, we're not going to bother doing any out of 10 ratings or anything for these movies because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just know that it's an entertaining slasher film.
Yes.
That sounds like it's up your alley. Watch it.
Oh yeah, so many memorable stuff. Great memorable killer.
Yes.
A little ridiculous, but very memorable, and just a wonderful Christmas time slasher movie.
Yes.
Not like the greatest one, of course, like Black Christmas is kind of like the king of that. That one is like a legit great like horror film. Mm-hmm. This one's just under that as like just a fun slasher movie to enjoy watching around Christmas time. Is a good alternative to all the other Christmas movies out there.
An alternative to Black Christmas or Krampus or Jack Frost. And we highly recommend it.
Oh yeah.
So until next time, we will be talking about Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, which is very different, but kind of the same exact experience in some ways.
In some ways.
But we'll get to that next time. So until then, we'll see you guys later.
$31. Merry fucking Christmas.